Joining me now is one of the headliners of Saturday's debut in Doha, Qatar. I got Dan Hooker, who takes on Arman Tsarukyan in the main event. Dan, how's everything going over there, man? All good?
Good. Touchdown yesterday morning and yeah, getting a couple of workouts in and adjusting well for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. How excited are you to get back in there? I know you've wanted to stay maybe a bit more active in recent years. It hasn't happened for circumstances outside your control, but is it nice to get in there, get a big fight against a guy that was just in line for the title not too long ago?
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it. Is there's no real ground lost. I've been sitting out for a year, but man, coming off a win over number 5 and then to get a shot at the now number 1 contender in the division is a bit of a practice in patience if anything.
Yeah. What do you make of the matchup? I mean, he's a guy that's been sitting at the top of the division for a while. I think everybody is pretty high on him. People are pretty high on you as well. So I think the fans are going to be excited for it. But from your perspective, I guess, what do you got to kind of be careful of when you face Arman?
Oh, I think it's no real secret. There is grabbing hold of me and and holding me on the deck, brother. I think that's. I think there's no real secret about where our strengths lie at this. I feel like if we're standing at long range or even in that mid range of striking, I think I tear him apart. Yeah, he'll be looking to close the distance and not engage with me in that on the feet and just be looking to get some control time and kind of drain the clock down. That's what he'll be eyeing.
Yeah, I like you said, definitely not a secret. I think we know what both of you guys are going to try to do when you get in there. Do you feel like, I mean, this has been kind of the story of your career to a certain degree, proving people wrong, proving the doubters wrong. Do you feel like people are counting you out a little bit in this one? I believe you're an underdog. I guess, what do you think maybe that some of the critics aren't picking up on in your game that you think you can maybe show out there to get the job done?
Oh, I just guess that they don't know what I've been doing for the last year. They don't see, you can definitely understand that. That's why the fights that I like. I like to take the fights where everyone's counting you out. I don't know how they do it in America, but I'm paying. It's a heavy underdog. The boys will be getting paid this weekend. I can't wait for it for my mates to. When Sunday comes knocking around to be cashing those checks, and I'd say I'm be getting a few beers bought for me when I land back in New Zealand. So it's definitely exciting times. I love those fights because it gives you an opportunity to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, and I guess for him, like, he's in kind of a weird position, right, where he had the title shot, then he was kind of put in the doghouse for a bit because of everything that went on in January, right? So we don't really know what his standing is, but for you, do you feel like you could kind of sneak in here? Like 155, we don't really know like what the roadmap is. So I guess, what do you think's at stake for you in terms of the title picture here?
Definitely, Dana's come out and said that it's a number 1 contender fight. Yeah, he's the number 1 contender that needs a win in the division, and that's why I chased this fight and I asked for this fight and I nagged the UFC to give me this fight is because I knew no one between myself and Arman Tsarukyan would want to fight Arman Tsarukyan because they got a good excuse to avoid him. He did pull out of that fight with the bad back, and so the champion and guys, the bigger name guys in the division like Gagey, they have a good excuse to not fight him. I believe it's because he is the most skillful fighter in the division. But these other guys have a good reason to not fight him, and I knew that with a win over Arman Tsarukyan, I get to jump the queue. I get to jump from outside the top 5 to the number 1 contender in the division. So it's exciting times for sure.
Yeah, lightweight always been fun. It's definitely fun. Now there's a new champion as well. I guess, what do you think of Ilia Topuria? He's kind of got that air of invincibility right now, but as a guy that's sitting in the top 6, top 7 of the division, do you see holes in his game? Do you think that he's a guy that's beatable just like everybody else?
Oh, that's the funny part about it. I do get asked about that, and people say, Ilia Topuria, how do because he's just been on one hell of a streak. He doesn't really get much better than his last 3 fights. And they say, how would you beat him? How would you step out there? And I'm just like, brother, Father Time gets everyone in this game. There's no one that can escape Father Time. You give it enough time, people start showing holes in their game. They show vulnerabilities, they show flaws. I've been doing this my entire adult life. Like, I know that we all bleed. I know we all get tired. I know we have good days and we have bad days. I've been in there with a lot of world champions. I spent a lot of time in the gym, and I know that we all get sick and injured, and we are all human. So I know that full well from him as well. I know that Ilia Topuria has holes as well. I know that my length would give him some issues. Yeah, I think I'd struggle to see that fight even getting out the first 2 rounds for me and Ilia.
Yeah, no, I think that has fight of the night banger written all over it if it ever does happen. And I guess, what do you think like his next move is? Do you think that he'll fight the winner of you guys next? Do you think something else is cooking and the winner of you and Arman will have to wait? Has there been any sort of timeline signal from the UFC as to what their division's plans are?
Yeah, I think they're just waiting on a few results.
Yeah.
I just know what I would do if I was sitting in Ilia Topuria or Islam Makhachev's shoes, and that's try to do something that's never been done before, and that's like a 3 division champion. So I know that Ilia will be gunning for Islam, and then Islam will be probably even looking up and gunning for something else. It's like that's just the mentality of a fighter. Like, you want to go down in the record books, you want to do something that's never been done before, and a 3 division champion is something that's never been before. So I'm sure that that's something that he would be targeting, because that's exactly what I would be targeting if I was in his shoes.
Yeah. What did you make of Islam moving up? Like, I think on one hand, right, it's cool for you as a contender, you could have gone in and beaten a legend like him if you guys fought. On the other hand, now you don't have a champion that is going to try to hold you down, right? Like, you have a champion that if you fight him, he's going to try to stand and bang and play more to your game. So what did you make of his move up? Were you disappointed? Were you happy? Did you not really care?
Nah, there's always going to be someone. There's always going to be someone holding that belt. It doesn't really
Sure.
matter who. Yeah, big test, man. I was pretty impressed that he went up and his handled Jack the way that he did. It was a very dominant performance. Yeah, very impressed.
Yeah, no doubt. He totally dominated. Definitely want to ask too, we talked about your inactivity, but I know you did stay busy. You turned into a bit of a fight promoter out there, right? Can you talk to me a little bit about 1 minute scraps and kind of how that whole thing came together? And I guess, what is the outlook for you as Dan Hooker, the promoter?
Yeah, oh man, that's just like something that just snowballed and kind of grew organically. Kind of just had a little idea and ran with it. We had a bit of a fight show in the backyard, and it turns out that people love to see it, and it's just snowboard. And I've run 4 shows myself now, and they're yeah, people are loving the action. I feel like it just gets to showcase New Zealand culture as well. Well, like with my next one, I'm doing dads. So I'm doing dads with no fight experience. So you kind of ever stepped in a ring and had a fight before in your life. So I've picked 32 dads from New Zealand. And one of them's going to walk away with $50,000 for Christmas. So it's that'll be an exciting one.
Yeah, that's funny. I was going to ask you when Oscar Willis was going to make his debut. My good friend and your good friend, but I guess he'll have to wait till the next one. Although I don't know, maybe he does qualify for the dad's tournament. I'm not really 100% sure.
I have to do a 1 minute scraps degenerates edition, and we'll have Oscar main event.
That's too funny. But all right, man, let's close it with this. I guess people tune in Saturday. What are they going to see go down between you two? How do you think you get it done?
I think I kick his head clean off his shoulders. I think that's how it gets it done. I think a lot of people are going to be shocked come Saturday, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, great card. Day card here in the States. We're spoiled getting to see you guys fight while we're eating lunch. So Dan Hooker versus Arman Tsarukyan Saturday, UFC Qatar. Dan, appreciate the time, man.
Too easy. Thank you.